Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Friday Night is Organs Music Night. We've got a lot to get through tonight. We're going to have some fun, and joy of joys, Vanessa is with us this evening. I don't know if you spotted during the first piece, Vanessa came up and picked up the laptop and disappeared again. She's back downstairs with a little bundle of joy, and she's getting ready for this evening's entertainment. She will be doing there won't be much swapping of images this evening. We're down to 2 cameras. This little thing is dead. More on that in a moment. So yes, now tonight I called, what did I call tonight? Past, present and future. Organs. Did I say organs? Yes, I did. Organs and chat. I had a lot of feedback recently from, we did a concert a couple of weeks ago where I was doing lots of sort of little anecdotes and things like that. And someone said, you should do this more often. Actually, not someone, quite a lot of people actually said, we love your anecdotes. So I'm going to do some more, well, maybe a little bit more chat, but also, of course, keep going with the music as well. So it's going to be one of those sort of, there is a lot to get through tonight music-wise, but it's going to be interspersed with spontaneous anecdotes of the past, present and future, which is the whole point. And also we will be talking about the past, present and future of things like this, organic technology. I say organic in inverted commas, of course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I see we have a birthday boy in the house. Now, this birthday boy was very quiet and didn't tell me it was his birthday today. We've been communicating a lot lately and having a great time doing it, but I did not know it was his birthday today. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to sing a happy birthday to Aaron Showers. Now, you all know Aaron from his own YouTube channel, and if you don't know him yet from his YouTube channel, then for God's sake, go and check him out. He's got a wonderful YouTube channel. He does similar things to what we do here in the Gartshore Gang. He plays fun music on church organs and gets away with it, which is great over in America. He does a wonderful job. He lives over in the Los Angeles area, and he plays organ in a church in Pasadena, a wonderful 4-manual instrument at home in Pasadena. Shall we play that later? Let's play Pasadena later as well. Wonderful place. I have been in Pasadena. I've played concerts in Pasadena. Anyway, but that's not the point. We're here for Aaron just now. Yes, it's Aaron's birthday. And I don't know how old he is, but maybe he'll tell us in the chat. If he doesn't tell us in the chat, then we'll just guess. Let's say 30-something. Okay? Aaron is 30-something, and it's his birthday today. So let's all sing happy birthday to Mr. Showers. Get ready for this. Happy birthday, Mr. S. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's quite early over there in LA land. So yes, have a wonderful day. It's Friday, and a birthday on Friday means one thing: go out and get absolutely steamed. Cheers. So let's all have a drink on Aaron, and yeah. Deceptive cadence. I like the word deceptive cadence, yeah. I had to finish with a major 7th, because normally I finish with something else. But for you, I did a major 9th with a 10th in the right hand. How about that? How would that work? Yes. Yeah, major 9th. Fun stuff indeed. Fun stuff indeed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are hanging about. Actually, no, let's do Pasadena right now. Let's do it. In my book of goodies here. Oh, look, there's something. Jez, I have something for you tonight. Click, 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 click. Where's my clicky thing? I have to search, don't I? And I have to search for B-A-U. There it is. And then we go all the way to find. Oh, bloody hell, what did I do there? Damn it. No, what the hell did I do? Help! Oh God, I've done something. Go away. Right, okay. I took a picture by accident. Right, where's P? There's L, that's not quite P. O, P, 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 A, P, A, P, A, S, P, I, Pasadena. From 1923, Harry Warren, somebody called Charlie and someone called Leslie. I know it was Harry Warren, but I don't know who the others were. The Pasadena song. Home in Pasadena. That's how the verse goes, I think. I can't remember what the words are. Are the words home in Pasadena? I think those are probably the words from the chorus. Anyway, if you know the words, sing them. If you don't, tough. Was that a deceptive cadence? I don't think so. There we are. Pasadena, Nina. The wonderful world of Pasadena. A little birthday present in a virtual sense for our good friend Aaron Schaus over in Los Angeles. He plays up in Pasadena and lives somewhere close, but never mind. We don't need to know that. Thank you to Stefan M. Thank you to Alexander W. Thank you to Werner S. And thank you to Klaus F. as well. Thank you very much indeed. We've got some tickets coming in already. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A good start to the weekend. Don't forget this. Don't forget, this is it. This is all we do. Vanessa is a penniless student, and I am a penniless self-employed musician. Hurrah! This is what we do for... Someone once said, this is what we do for shits and giggles. No, this is what we do for a living, believe it or not. Now, let me tell you about this. This little thing here, this was actually a gift from a member of the Gartshore Gang, almost 5 years ago now. Now, when we were out and about doing organ videos, and we will return to doing that one day, promise. We just need to get into a rhythm with a little bundle of joy, and then we'll be able to get back at. And this guy contacted me and said, you need a second camera, because at the time we were doing everything with my iPhone. And he said, you need a second camera so you can do pedals, you can do manuals, you can do all sorts of things. And he bought me this, a GoPro 7, a GoPro Hero 7 Black or whatever they're called. And it's been absolutely perfect until 2 weeks ago. Do you remember 2 weeks ago? It was when was it? 2 weeks ago on, I think, the Friday concert, where it just froze, remember? In the middle of a pedal solo, you were watching a blank pedal board. It had frozen, and then we reset it. It worked for the rest of that concert, but that was it. It was switched off on that Friday night, and on the Sunday it didn't work anymore. So I've tried taking it apart, but I guess it's just fried itself over the years. Now, the problem is, it's probably my own fault, actually. Because for a while I had the battery still in there, but we had it on a sort of permanent power supply. Because obviously you're doing streams for 2 hours, the batteries don't last for 2 hours, oops. So probably I fried the electronics over the 4 or 5 years we've had it, and that's the end of it. So until we can get it replaced, we have no pedal camera. Vanessa, the other one please, buy me a coffee please. Oder guck mal in den Chat-Links, da habe ich auch was gemacht. Sorry, I'm just giving Vanessa some instructions there. We have, we set up on, you know, we have our, what's it called, Buy Me a Coffee. So, oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to shout loudly. The little one's obviously asleep. Schau mal in den Notizen, da ist ein neuer Link mit Pedalcam. Siehst du? Ja, okay, das kannst du mal da reinmachen, das ist ganz clever. Anyway, so we're saving up at the moment for a new pedal cam. Now, whether we get a similar one, because it has HDMI out already in it, an old one, and a 7 again, or we might get one of the new GoPros. The problem is down there's not much space for any other kind of camera. I do have other cameras, but there's no space for them down there, so it has to be something like this. This is the point. So should you feel inclined to help us out, to replace our pedal camera, please help us, please consider helping us out there. Buy Me a Coffee is where we're doing it, we're saving up for it. Anything we save up for like that, we do over Buy Me a Coffee. Any sort of donations as such, they come in via PayPal and all those other things. So there you are, that's what's happening at the moment. So there you are, at the moment we are saving up for a new pedal camera, we are also saving up for new lighting. And we're also saving up for a second touchscreen, which will live over here, but don't worry, it won't disturb the view because that camera is nice and high and looks over. So don't worry about it. Hold on, Vanessa's saying something in the background. Nummer 2, glaube ich. Du kannst es... Lass mal. Mach mal kurz. Ja. Nee, das war... Das ist die Main-Kamera. Mach mal dann Nummer 1. Ah, das ist Overhead, ja. Da unten links aber. Das ist Overhead unten links. Mach mal Nummer 3. Das ist Overhead oben rechts. Dann habe ich es doch geändert. Okay. Sorry, we're just helping Vanessa out there with what's what, in which position. Last minute kind of things. I know it's terrible, isn't it? So anyway, so there we are. So we're saving up for some goodies at the moment to expand our equipment. That, however, is priority at the moment because obviously you want to see what I'm doing down there with my crazy feet. And by the way, tonight I am wearing my musical socks. I'm going to describe my socks to you until we get some new ones. These are the socks that were a gift from Ursa Major quite a long time ago. Ursa Major sent us these wonderful socks, and they've got lots of the black socks. There's lots of sort of little musical notes and dots and sharps and flats and key signatures and time signatures and things in sort of colors. Rather cute, and that's what I'm wearing tonight. So now you know. Now you know. Right, back to the music. Back to the, you missed the flying foot. Well, you know what to do. Yes, I missed the flying foot too, and it's rather unfortunate. I tried actually using an iPhone down there, but we couldn't get the angle right, so it was very bizarre. And neither Vanessa's iPhone nor my iPhone worked down there in the position to get a decent sort of camera view for the pedals. Yes, it's very tight down there, unfortunately, so that's rather annoying. Right. Now, I said earlier we have some music for Jez, and we do have some music for Jez, and I must apologize to Jez because a couple of weeks ago I said I was going to play a piece of music for him, and then it completely escaped my mind. I was on my own that night, pressing buttons, doing all sorts of things, and I just forgot about it. I do apologize. It's on the list for tonight, but I'm also going to play one of the best and most amazing Welsh hymns in the world. It is, of course, Love Divine, All Loves Excelling to the Proper Tune by William Rowlands, who died in 1937, which means this is copyright free. Love divine, love's excelling. Joy of heaven to earth come down. Isn't that absolutely wonderful? I do love that hymn tune. And you really have to go to town on it. You cannot play that on a soft registration. You have to give it one big time. Will there be any Tony Bennett tributes, says Yellowbird. Did Tony Bennett pop his clogs? Have I missed something in the news? Have I missed something? We don't have a television, you see, Vanessa and I don't. We have each other, and we have a baby, and we have a dog, and we have an organ, and we have an iPad. So we don't do anything like that. Can we get Fraser to give a tribute to Tony Bennett tonight, says Jez. Gosh. Okay, has Tony Bennett died? He must have been about 210 years old if he did. Gosh, amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I wonder. Now, I see in the chat there, I see Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe has already, what was it, 18 point something percent? So 18.5%. Thank you very much, 18.5%. Was that from Joe? Or did Joe just notice it? I'm guessing it was from Joe. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much, Marie. Very kind of you both. Tony Bennett left the house. Gosh, 96. 96. What an age. What an age. Wow. Tony Bennett. If he was still alive, I'd make some jokes about him, but now that he's gone, we can't. Too late. Too late. Tony Bennett jokes. Anyway, right, let's see what we can come up with from Tony Bennett. I will have a think about that, and I'm sure I will find something. Tony Bennett has popped his clogs. Gosh, poor old Tony. Then again, 96. We shouldn't be arguing, should we? Good age. Right, now, unfortunately, we're down to one iPad now, so I can't see what's going on. Ooh, look, tickets. Jerry. A ticket from Jerry. Jerry with his crazy amounts again. Thank you, Jerry. Very kind indeed. Bill Galloway. Thank you, Mr. Galloway. William. Jürgen. Thank you, Jürgen. And thank you, Christoph, as well. That's very kind. Have I forgotten anyone on the way? Yes, Jan also as well. We've got Jan on the way past. Did I get Jan? I did. I think that's everybody. Thank you very much. Gosh, this is very exciting. We'll put some of this towards the to the camera as well. Or towards the screens, or towards lighting and things like that, because I want to get all this stuff sorted out as quickly as possible, so we can move forwards. Right, now I have a piece of music here that hold on, I have it. I said I have it here. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. There it is. Right. Now this was given to me by Jez to be played, and it's, see, is my winky blinky working? It's not working, right? I need to turn my winky blinky on. That sounds rude actually, doesn't it? But it's not meant like that, you know what I mean? Right, come on, wink back. Perfect, right, let me move this out of the way and pop me winky blinky over there. And we've got it. Right, a Welsh traditional tune. I did some research and looked into this. It's actually a very sad tune. Very sad tune indeed. Myfanwy, it's called. And Myfanwy is a very traditional Welsh girl's name, as far as I remember. I can't tell you anything about the story of this, so maybe Jez, you would care to fill us in on the stories of Myfanwy on the way past, and I would love to play it for you. I listened to a couple of versions of it on YouTube, and it's actually, it's a very moving and emotional sounding tune, especially when sung by a traditional Welsh male voice choir. Oh my goodness me. I can only suggest you go and listen to something like that yourself. It's absolutely delicious and wonderful. There is something very musical about the Welsh language. Naturally, when you see it sort of written down, you imagine it's the most complicated language in the world. I don't think it's a very easy language, I'll give you that, but it's certainly a rather beautiful language, and it's a very musical language, which explains why so much wonderful music comes from Wales. That's Wales without an H, by the way. Wales, the country, not the large aquatic mammals, before you all start making jokes about that. So anyway, here we are, Myfanwy, a Welsh traditional tune in the beautiful key of A flat major, and I'm going to play it on the soft and delicious, wonderful sounds of this delicious organ here. At the moment, we are in Billerbeck this evening. I was planning to play another instrument this evening, but for some bizarre reason, I was having problems with it, so I have to work on that. However, we're going to go into the past in a moment, and then we're going to go into the future. Ooh la la, we've got at least 4 instruments this evening, so this is quite exciting, so hang around. Myfanwy. Isn't that a gorgeous piece of music? Ah, can you imagine that being sung by sort of 100 Welsh voices, male voices, in 4-part harmony doing their wonderful thing? That would be amazing. Who does? Ian, thank you very much, Ian. That's very kind of you. Oh, Ian is buying us some Smarties. Thank you very much, Ian. That's very kind of you indeed. Right, back to the chat so I can see what you're on about. This keeps pausing when I move away, so I miss all of that. Right, off with the chat then. Lovely, thank you. Yes, Jez, my pleasure. It's an absolutely wonderful piece of music indeed. And yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love pieces of music like that. I really do. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get any further, let me introduce you to an organ we have never featured on this channel before. In fact, I can't remember if I've ever actually played it. Ever. Uncle Jerry will tell us about this. Is Uncle Jerry still here? Jerry, how old is Hauptwerk? Hauptwerk is this wonderful system that we're using to make these organ sounds. And what it basically is, it's a technology invented by a guy called Brett Milan together with a programmer Martin Died. They got together years ago and decided the world needed this. And Martin programmed the most sophisticated piece of software anyone has ever seen in the world. And your man, Brett Milan, then marketed it and pumped it around the world. And we got Hauptwerk, named after the German word for the great organ, the Hauptwerk. The Werkprinzip, ever heard of that if you're into your organs? Well, Hauptwerk is 20 years old. Good God, there you have it then. Right. Now, when you get Hauptwerk, if any of you have it, it loads with an organ. It has its own built-in organ. And this is an organ that I'm willing to bet, Jerry, agree with me or not, I'm willing to bet that most people ignore it. They sort of go past it, they've bought, they've purchased, they've stolen, they've whatever. Hundreds of other organ sample sets, that's what they're called. Those are the individual samples of individual pipes in all these organs from around the world, put together in this sophisticated piece of software. I'm being looked at by my wife. And they're all very, very fancy and very large and very wonderful with 32-foot reeds and God knows all what, chamads and tubas, tuba, and all those wonderful things. However, here, this is the organ that the Hauptwerk software comes with as standard. It's built in, and it's an English organ, a Brindley and Foster organ, which was then tarted up by Nicholson at some point later in its life, and it's in a church called St. Anne's, Moseley. And Moseley is, where is Moseley? Is it near Birmingham or near Liverpool? Somewhere around there. So it's Birmingham, I think, isn't it? Moseley? Is it, come on, folks, British people, tell me, where's Moseley? I think it's there. Anyway, Mrs. G? Yes. Beide. Beide. Falls ich was vergesse. Also ich habe bis jetzt alles gesagt, was wir haben. Also bis Ian habe ich dann alles gesagt. Okay, da kannst du auch noch. Ja, warum nicht? Das ist doppelt gemoppelt. Okay, dann doch. Okay, dann mache ich das und... Vielleicht die Leute fragen, was die lieber möchten. I see. Near Liverpool. Okay, thank you. Near Birmingham. Right. All right, what's it going to be then? Marek says it's near Birmingham and John says it's near Liverpool. Well, I suppose we could meet in the middle then, couldn't we? What would be in between Liverpool and Birmingham? Burton-on-Trent. No, I'm guessing it's, I think it's near Birmingham, isn't it, Marek? I can't remember. Anyway. Sorry, Vanessa has a question for you, by the way. What do you prefer? Do you prefer it when I thank you for your online donations and things, or do you prefer it when Vanessa does it as well? The thing is, I can only see some of the things that come in on PayPal. Vanessa sees everything, even the Buy Me a Coffee stuff. How are we doing on Buy Me a Coffee? Vanessa's doing Buy Me a Coffee, all right. That's fine. What's that noise? It's the... I thought there was a noise in the background, but it's the blower of the organ. I've never heard that before. Ja, klar. Gerne. Was denn? Also das von Yellowbird habe ich schon. Oh, it must noise. Okay. Sorry, Vanessa's talking at me in the background. It's quite difficult to concentrate on what I'm trying to say. Anyway, right, this is a very lovely little organ. Let me just make sure I've got it set up in the right place. Make sure I haven't got any... Yes, I do. I don't have any extra reverb on it. That would be very embarrassing. And it's a lovely little organ, as far as I remember. Let's find out. So I don't have any things set up for it, but this is the organ that it comes with. It's rather cute. So it's got a nice... You can hear it's a very sort of dry British church with lots of carpets and things like that. So it's got this kind of... And the cool thing is you can hear it, you can actually hear the acoustic. Right, let me do where's my swell to great? There it is over there. But it's got some rather lovely little stops on it. For example, this kind of thing. Sounds MIDI-mäßig. Oh no, it doesn't sound MIDI-mäßig. It sounds, if you pop on full organ, well here's full swell for example. It's very dry obviously, it could do with a bit of acoustic, but if you really... Let's pump it up and let's have some full organ. Mosley style. It's got trumpets, it's got goodies, it's got all sorts of things. Let's try this. How does that sound? We need grit to pedal and we need this. Listen to this. Isn't that cute? Isn't that really cute? Now let's get rid of all the fancy stuff there. Actually no, let's just get rid of that and that. Don't need them. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. We'll keep that. And right, ready? Say stop. How about that? Let's stop. Oh, that's a good one. Right, Regent Square. Let's have an English hymn from an English church organ, and just close your eyes and imagine you're in a sort of a Hollywood film. Imagine a Hollywood film, I don't know, 4 weddings and a funeral. Hugh Grant has just fallen on his face, and Helena Bonham Carter has just fallen over him drunk. You know, that kind of film. You know, those sort of awful British films of those 90s and things like that. But there was always a church scene, and there was always an organ in the background, and it was always an organ that sounded like this. That's a good sound, isn't it? It doesn't sound like a MIDI thing at all. It sounds really good. Klingt absolut unbestechlich. Klingt wischiwaschi dazwischen jedes Detail zu hören. Huh? What? No, yes, it is. It's a perfect organ actually to practice on because it's so... You can hear everything. And it is... I used to play in churches like that. I played in a church in Inverness that had... Well, it didn't have one of those. It didn't have one of... Yes, it did. No, it didn't have one of those. It certainly didn't have one of those. And if you pumped it up to a full volume, it would sound like this. And the acoustic was about the same as well. It was one of those churches that was full of carpets and cushions and curtains. Where I used to sit at the organ. This was bringing back memories. Bringing back memory. I used to sit at this organ. This was in the East Church in Inverness. There used to be as many churches as there were pubs in Inverness. That's a useful claim to fame. Anyway, wonderful place, but never mind. But the East Church, it was sort of just a Scottish Presbyterian church. So it was hymns and psalms and a sermon that went on for 45 minutes. And I was at the organ was hidden. The organ pipes were sort of at the front right of the church if you went in. The console was, of course, part of the organ. It was a little thing like that, 2 manual stops on either side. And but around the organist, there was sort of a brass rail at this height behind my head and sort of red velvet curtains. It was great. And you could open the curtains and people could see you, but sod that, I would keep the curtains closed. And I would take with me to church on the Sunday morning, I would take a copy of the Sunday Times. And I would sit and read the paper. I would sit and read the paper quietly during the sermon. And I would get quite far through the Sunday Times on a Sunday morning. And occasionally I could be heard rustling the paper. But when you could be heard rustling the paper, I always made sure to sort of move the pages of my hymn book at the same time. Because hymn book paper and newspaper sound similar. There you are, bizarre little anecdote there, but it's a very cute little organ. It has some nice stops on it. It has a rather wonderful clarinet on it, which you can use to great effect playing fun music. Now, I like my fun music. Let me do some coupling of goodies here. I need to do that one. Let's have this. Yeah, so it's got this lovely clarinet. Cute, isn't it? Cute, I love it. But it's a good sound, honk honk. It's a very good sound indeed, and it's great fun. So that's just a little sort of diversion. Should you be interested in getting a copy of Hauptwerk, you don't need to splash out hundreds of dollars, euros, pounds, rubles, whatever, Turkish lira, millions in that case, whatever you want to get. You don't need to do that. This organ is in there. And basically, if I press that button and make sure everything's coupled together, it is a big sound. Quite good, isn't it? Listen to this, 32. That's not bad. That'll do you for most organic stuff you need. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something very interesting. Watch this. I'm going to close Hauptwerk. Haven't done that before. And there, look, ladies and gentlemen, it's my Windows screen. And if I come over here and press this little button, something new will happen. I hope, fingers crossed that this works, because it's not very good. Look, SwayLink, virtual pipe organ. Now, over the last couple of years, some Dutch bods, some Dutch computer nerds have been playing around, coming up with some competition for Hauptwerk. And I have been sort of fairly skeptical of the whole thing. Look how quickly this loads. Boom, there's an organ loaded. Very clever. Is this swell pedal going to work today? Yes, but it only goes to 83% for some reason. Anyway, very exciting, says Jerry. It is very exciting. Competition for Hauptwerk. Competition is never a bad thing. Now, Hauptwerk, like I say, is an incredibly sophisticated piece of software. You go into a church or a theatre or a concert hall or wherever you will find a pipe organ, and every single pipe, well, got to be clever here, careful here. In the best scenario, every single pipe in that organ will be sampled using fancy microphones, pointing at all different places, doing all the right sorts of things, and that will then be collated in this amazingly sophisticated piece of software to create a sample set which you then recreate using your incredibly sophisticated hardware. That's the plan. Now, Jerry will tell you, if you have the big sample set, the more RAM you have on your computer, random access memory, the more RAM you have, the bigger the organ, the more authentic it can sound, because these things take up literally hundreds of 100 gigabytes of space. That's how big these sample sets are. And for example, one of the biggest organs I have takes up 108 gigabytes of my RAM. Now, my computer is equipped with 128 gigabytes of RAM, which is as much as the current i9 processor would take. But I've got the 20 million core processor i9 on there and 128 gigs of RAM. So, it's pretty top-notch stuff. Not everybody has that. And I'm lucky. I was able to build that myself, so it didn't cost the world. And helped on by you guys, so thank you very much indeed. But if you don't have that kind of equipment, what about something a little more sleek, a little sleeker? And this is where SwayLink comes in, virtual pipe organ version 1.0.0. And a guy here called Don Prince. Is Don with us this evening? Don, if you're there, say hi, because this is it. Finally, we're taking it, as Jerry said, taking it for a spin. That's exactly what I was going to say. Jerry just wrote it there. I'm taking it for a spin tonight for the first time, because I got it working 2 hours before the concert this evening. Actually, 1 hour before the concert this evening. The download of the software was fine. The download of the organ took 3 attempts, because the server kept crashing. Mirabilos is saying there's also a software called Grandorg. Yeah, I could never get Grandorg to work. It always crashed, always. So I'm ignoring that until it becomes stable. But this now appears stable. So let's find it out. Now, this is a brand new organ for SwayLink. It was only introduced today. So I'm probably one of the first people to demonstrate it here on YouTube. There will be a couple of videos up there already from testers and things like that. But I'm probably the first person to do it live. And this is a rather wonderful organ. Oh, please tell me this is working. I set some pistons up as well. Check, is that working? It is. Look, it's working. Brilliant. This is a crazy organ. Can I show you a picture of it? I don't think I can. This is the 1978 Kloiker organ found in the Notre-Dame-des-Neiges. Notre-Dame-des-Neiges, Our Lady of the Snow. Or is it the clouds? What's neige again? In the Alps. Anyway, this is a wonderful, it's all sort of Tour de France stuff up there in the Alps. And this church was built, and this organ was put in, and the organ is shaped like a hand pointing up to God. It's amazing. Looks kind of cool. It's a tiny organ. It's only 2 manuals and 20-something stops. I could probably count them, 27 stops or something. Not that much at all. But it looks amazing. It sounds good too in this crazy little church up in the Alps. And it was designed by equally crazy French organist Jean Guillou. I knew Jean Guillou quite well, and he was wonderful. Everyone was scared of Jean Guillou. I don't know why. He was just a very funny, very dry sense of humor, a very naughty man, actually. he looked like sort of Count Dracula. He always had amazing sort of coiffed hair, backwards in a funny sort of duck's arse, you know, that's duck's arse hairstyle thing. He looked like Count Dracula, and he knew it, and he used that to his advantage. He used to enjoy the company of people much younger than he. Says the man who married a woman 17 years younger than him. Anyway, but never mind. So let's have a little listen to this organ. Now, this is a different style of sampling. This is much more digital. This is much more like your, shall we say, native instruments. The sort of sample sets, you know, they're much smaller, but the quality is very, very good indeed. I'm just going to play around here. It is snow, isn't it? Yes. Notre Dame des Neiges. Our Lady of the Snow. Let's have actually, no, stop. Let's have a French piece of music. I got a French piece of music here from our friend Rodi. Hello, Rodi. Is Rodi here tonight? I hope he is, because he sent me... is it this? It is. It's this. A guy called Jacques Berthier, some French composer. A suite du Victime Pascali, which is the old Easter hymn. Or the Easter Gregorian, I suppose. And here's a suite. It's rather weird, but it looks kind of cool. So it says, Grand orgue et pédale plein jeu. Okay, let's do a French style plein jeu. There's not much we can do. Here there isn't a plein jeu, but let's just make one up. It's a very small organ, but shall we have a... No, we won't have a trumpet. That sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this. This is sight reading, so I don't know what it's going to be, but it looks kind of cool. Suite du Victime by Jacques Berthier. It's in, I think, 3 movements. I will talk to you in between the movements because I have to change the registrations. Let's have a listen to this magnificent organ. I don't know much about it myself. I played around with it for maybe 10 minutes before the concert. End of movement number 1. I quite like that. I like this kind of music. Right, movement number 2. Oh, I can't do movement number 2. No, I can make it up. Right, let's do... Oh, it doesn't work like that. You can't do lots of things. What do I need? Don't need that or that or that or that or that. Okay, so this is... Actually, I could do it like that. Ha 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 ha. And down an octave. That would be cool. Oh, yeah, I like it. Right, this piece of music. That's quite loud. That's quite loud. That's quite loud. All right, well, let's change that. Let's do it differently then. Actually, let's have the cromon with its Duda. And what should we have up here? We'll just have a bourdon doux. We certainly don't need that cadones there. Right, this will do. Right, this is a strange movement. This is called calme. So it's calm, obviously. And it sounds, hopefully, something like this. So I'm using the positif, or the grand orgue cromon, with a rather nice tremulon, beautifully sampled. I'm impressed. And a simple flute harmonique up here. It's good. It's good. That's a bit weird, isn't it? That's a bit weird. It says calm. And the next one, movement number 3, also says calm. And for this, we need a bourdon 8. Don't have one. We need a flute 4. Got one. And we need a larigot. Got one. And actually, let's just pop it down there. Because I want to do that. We don't have any pedals for this movement, but let's have one for the last note. Okay, this could be weird. Let's try this. Again, calm. Weird music, but sort of it fits the kind of organ, I think you will hopefully agree. Weird, man, weird. But kind of nice. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Let's see what this organ can really do. Of course, we can really do this with it. Here's Dietmar. We know who Dietmar is. Oh, this is cool. 10 for me, 10 for the student, and some more for the child. I shouldn't tell you how much that was, but yes. Split between the musician, the student, and the baby. That's kind of cool. Thank you very much indeed. Dietmar, you know who you are. You know what your name really is. Oh, right. Time for the Brown Book of Magnificence, otherwise known as magic, but we're not allowed to call it magic. We get into trouble if we call it magic. However, I do. What year is that piece from? I don't know. The reverb modeling is quite convincing in my headphones. I like this. Yes, it is nice, isn't it? It really is nice. I like it. Now, this organ, however, has got some fun sounds, and it builds up rather nicely. Let's use the Brown Book of Magnificence to do this. Kein Teil der Welt, no part of this world, is what this one is called. And it's a rather nice piece of music. It's a lilty piece of music, so perfect for a French organ. Let's lilt along to this. I'm going to show you the softest stops, and I'm going to build up to full organ and then back down again. Let's see what we think. I like that a lot. It's rather interesting, isn't it? Isn't it? It's different. You can definitely tell the difference to Hauptwerk. I wonder, can you tell the difference that much over YouTube with all its crazy compression and things like that? Different kettle of fish altogether, and a very different business model. Now, here's something for you. SwayLink, there's a 2-week free trial. It costs $0. You don't even have to put credit card details in. It's completely free for 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, they want about €100 for an annual subscription. $100 a year. And here's the best bit. All organ sample sets are included. All organ sample sets are included, and they're tiny. Let me show you how big they are. I've downloaded them and popped them in here. Where are they? They're on my organ drive. That entire organ I was playing there, all of the samples are 3.6 GBs. 3.6 gigs. That's it for the entire organ. For the entire organ. Now, to put that into perspective, the organ I was playing earlier, the Billerbeck organ, is about 96 gigs. Yeah? Now, okay, it's a much bigger organ, but it's not that much bigger. So, you know, this is a very sleek piece of kit. Now, I also don't know if you saw while I was playing, there was a few sort of screen flickerings going on in the background. Yeah, it was working. It's working fine tonight, but is it going to work forever? This is the thing. I still think there's a bit of work that needs to be done in the background to make it 100% stable and perfect. It's working tonight, so let's, fingers crossed it stays that way. But yeah, definitely fun. Oh, by the way, we have some special effects. Stop it. That sounds like you're in the Alps, doesn't it? Very, very clever. Very clever indeed. I rather like that. So anyway, so yes, please go and check out SwayLink. Someone will put a link to it there. Someone here, Jerry, put up a link to SwayLink, please. Someone put up a link to SwayLink and we'll play around with that. I'm going to play around with it for a bit. And if I enjoy it, then, $100 is not a desperately large amount of money. I'm going to contact the people at SwayLink, however, and say, hello, I'm advertising your products. Give it to me for nothing. One can but ask. Now, it does have some pretty cool stuff on it too. It's got this thing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's got stuff perfect for my kind of music. This is great fun. So, it has something called a ranquette. A ranquette, which is this thing. It's a very strange 16-foot reed. It has the Cromorn 8. Which I rather like. Now it has a trompette en chamade. That's kind of cool, don't you think? But it also has, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, an hautbois en chamade. An oboe en chamade. Now that doesn't sound as... Doesn't sound as authentic as the rest of the organ, but maybe the actual organ sounds like that. That sounds more that sounds more synthesized, doesn't it? That doesn't sound quite as authentic as things, but we've got an 8-foot trumpet. With a 16-foot bombard in the swell. It does have some fun stuff on it, I think you will agree, but my favorite is definitely this. That is fun. I don't care what anyone says. That's fun. I like it. Ever wondered what a snow flute sounds like? Flûte des neiges. That's a snowy flute. I wonder what a snowy flute is. That's it. But yeah, I like it. So I'm going to be playing around with SwayLink for the next 2 weeks and see what I can come up with, because I quite like it. It's different, I'll give you that. You can tell it's not quite as sophisticated, it's not quite as detailed, it's not quite as organic as Hauptwerk is, you can tell, but it's very slick. It really is very slick, and it takes up no room on your computer whatsoever. So, you know, if you're getting into the world of digital organs and trying them out for the first time, I suggest, look how quickly it closes. It's a tiny piece of software. Hauptwerk takes forever. Oh, see that? I just opened Hauptwerk and look what happened. Nothing. It takes forever. So let's open up an organ. Okay, this is a quick organ to load, but nonetheless, check that out. Look at the speed of that. But even that, which is a small Hauptwerk sample set, even that takes a while to load. And then it has to start the audio and the MIDI. Click, 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 come on, it takes its time, thinks about it, and bang, we're in. And then, you know, we're ready to go. Oh, look, a theatre organ. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to say goodnight to our friend Opus 3. Opus 3 doesn't like theatre organ music, which I think is a terrible shame. Opus 3, warum magst du keine Kino-Orgelmusik? Das ist so schön. Es ist wirklich schön. Yes? Was denn? Oh, okay. Hold on, Vanessa's talking at me again in the background. Oh, tickets. Who dis? Someone... Oh, no, it's not. All right, YouTube has paid me for the month. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, YouTube has paid me for the month. In the good old days, before copyright nonsense, I would actually earn, I don't know, never very much, but I would earn, you know, something. It would go towards monthly costs, let's put it like that. The money you get, you know, all those adverts you get on those videos, a percentage of that goes to moi. And over the years, since we started, sorry, I'm getting my tasty beverage top up here. Normally I have my own personal slave to do it for me, but she's downstairs playing with babies. Yes, but since the copyright morons have started messing everything up with YouTube for people like us, monthly income from here we go, from this. Ah, okay, thank you. Oh my goodness. Ah! Das ist eine unspielbare Version. Baby? She's not listening. Okay, but I think it might be in here actually, if I dig around in my other book. But oh, what's happened now? I can't. Ah, there we are. B-A-U should be in here. Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh yes, Google payments. You know, in the good old days, you could make sort of, you know, make a couple of $100 a month doing what we do here. But since the copyright bots have got us, it's impossible. We're not making any money at all. Doesn't even pay the monthly electricity bill, so there you are. But it's better than nothing. Right, theatre organ time, and we had the news that Tony Bennett left us. Tony Bennett's most famous song is, of course, "I Left My Heart" in San Francisco. Or many years ago, someone was very rude at a Tony Bennett concert and said, "You should leave your nose there instead, mate," which I thought was rather rude. But Tony Bennett, wonderful singer, the last of the old crooners. Ich habe schon eine andere Version gefunden. Alles gut, danke. Yes, Tony Bennett, the last of the crooners. The crooners being the Bing Crosbys, up to Frank Sinatra's, maybe Dean Martin's, you know, all those, and even Andy Williams to a certain extent. But the, sort of the old jazz crooners, the doobie-doobie-doo tuners and crooners. And Tony Bennett, definitely the last of that lot. And he sadly left us today, as we just found out. So my goodness me. Let's then leave our hearts where they are and sing I Left My Heart at, or there's that old joke about a disco and an angel. I left my harp at San Fran's disco. Remember, it was an old joke. If anyone knows the joke, don't put it in the chat. It's a long one. Sorry, lots of button pressing and I got it wrong. I left my heart in San Francisco, which is a wonderful old big bandy kind of piece of music. Isn't that good fun? Isn't that good fun? Let's have a silly piece of music, which I haven't played for a long time. It's on the list. Here it is. And definitely an old jazzy number that we can have fun with. I want you to sing along because it's fast. Change the registrations. Let's have these registrations. Click, ping, pong. And because we get here, we get a piano. And a piano is very handy for this kind of music. If you know it, sing along. Vincent Youmans and Joe Caesar, 1924. A wonderful piece of music. Very fast. I want to be happy. I want to be snappy. I want to be happy. Oh, we're getting close, ladies and gentlemen, to midnight. We had another couple of requests for this evening. Let me see if I can find them in the magnificent list here. Yeah, we had a crazy piece of music called Cleopatra Had a Jazz Band. I'll play that on Sunday night. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of weird. It's something I might actually want to sing, because the words are so completely politically incorrect these days. And you know me, I love political incorrectness. So I think we may do that for, oh, for heaven's sake, we may do that for Sunday. So any more tickets to thank? Not there. Thank you very much to everyone who sent us a ticket this evening. Very kind of you indeed. And why is this not working? It seems to be falling apart. I'm a bit worried that my well, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. It's almost exactly where I wanted to be. Hold on, where will it be? There we are. There it is. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is not exactly a piece of music from the Glenn Miller repertoire, but it's definitely a piece of music that applies to our good friend, Mr. Cameron Platts. Cameron Platts is out and about doing some exciting things at the moment, and I can't tell you what, but it's very exciting, and there might be some more news on that next week. Let's wait and see. Back in 1928, a crazy guy called Irving Berlin, whose real name was something similar, wrote wonderful pieces of music, and this one is one of my favorites, just because it's got such wonderful words to it. If you don't know the words, go and look them up. There are all sorts of different varieties of the words to it. The official ones are the ones that Fred Astaire sang in one of his most amazing dance numbers ever. He wasn't a young man when he performed it, but it's one of his most famous dance routines, and it involved all sorts of wonderful cinematic effects, which even to this day still look bloody good. I'm talking, of course, about the wonderful piece of music called Puttin' on the Ritz. And if in the back of your mind you've got the Mel Brooks film Young Frankenstein during this, then good for you, because that's also one of the best film variations of this piece of music, Puttin' on the Ritz. Ah, yes. Anyway, let's think of Fred Astaire while we're doing it. Putting on the Ritz. Isn't that a cute little registration there? Or this one. This is theatre organ heaven. If you're into theatre organ music, then at some point you will get into the world of Jesse Crawford, which is all that kind of lots of vibrato and crazy stuff. And actually, he would do open chords. Yeah, so you don't play that. You move the third down there. When you slide, the middle voices. That's wonderful theatre organ technique for you. There you are, Mr. Shaz. When you're next playing in your Fox studio organ, then you know what to do. But you... Oh yes. Fun for all the family. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Friday night is organ music night. We will be back on Sunday with more SwayLink, if I can download some more of those exciting organs and play around with them. Hopefully a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 manual organ to play with lots of amazing stops, lots of 32s and God knows what else, and shamads and tubas and I have no idea what all. It's huge. So hopefully get that working properly for Sunday night. And in the meantime, I am working on some other bits and pieces in the background, secret stuff. Do hang around, do join us. Let's hope we've got some more progress on the old GoPro here, the old pedal camera, so we can get that going. And, ladies and gentlemen, news in September. In September, we're going to have our first 12-hour organ session here at the organ. Yes, I'll tell you all about that. We're going to do some crazy things in September, and one of those will be a 12-hour organ session. Oh my goodness, I'm mad, I know, but we're going to do it. I've always wanted to do it, and we're going to do that for the first time this year in September. We might do one towards the end of the year as well. Oh, Jez, thank you, Jez M. That's very kind of you indeed. Thank you so much. Jez M from the wonderful world of Wales. Very, very kind of you indeed. Thank you for your ticket. Thank you, thank you. So that's it. So do join us on Sunday night for some more news, some more music, some more organs, plural. And actually, if I can get it to work again, we might get the old Hammond organ going on here again as well. It hasn't been working of late. The software is a bit dodgy. But let me see if I can get it working again. Let's have some fun with that. My goodness me, it's going to be a busy weekend. Look forward to it. See you then, folks. Bye-bye.